So, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Good morning. This is Morning Momentum. If it's your first time you're tuning in, my name is Matt Beard. We come live every single morning to talk about real estate stuff, to talk about business stuff, all kinds of things. And I appreciate everyone who comes in and participates and asks good questions or gives their input or just let me know where you're at, what's going on in your business, man. The whole reason why we do this stuff is for you guys. I do love coming live, and hopefully you guys are getting some value from these videos. And if you are, just want to invite you to head over to the YouTube channel and hit subscribe if you haven't already. But up to this point, guys, we have been talking a lot about virtual assistants. This is actually day number 23 of our virtual assistant action plan. So hopefully you guys have been taking the things we've been talking about and taking action on it, right? So we talked about, setting up a proper budget, getting things in order for your people to, hey, what do I need to do to do the best I can as the business owner, right? As the leader of my company. Okay, the data, the tools. Okay, now what does that actually look like price wise? And what is the right structure for my team? And then the next week we talked about developing good cold callers. So guys, if you missed any of those videos, please go back on the YouTube channel and watch those videos, because those are just freaking gold on how to develop great cold callers. Okay. The next week after that, we talked about admin help, structuring your business with good meetings for your people, and delegating properly. And then this week, we've been discussing probably the most important topic of all, right? Which is, what is the next step for your virtual assistant? I know a lot of you guys are watching, or not just in any industry, you're probably in real estate. And for real estate virtual assistants, that next step is becoming what we call a lead manager. Now, the concept and the context can still be applied to basically anywhere in any business for, developing your virtual assistants to take more responsibility in your business. But ultimately, if you guys are watching here today, you care about, how do I get a lead manager, right? And ultimately, you want a lead manager so, man, you can free up your time and have less conversations with people who just aren't really motivated or want to do anything with their property, right? So we started with the scripts, giving a clear outline of getting someone ready to make that leap, right? So the leap from a cold caller or, an outbound prospecting VA to a lead manager is not that big, right? All we need to do is just slowly give them more responsibility, right? You don't want them working the highest priority leads. I told you guys to monitor your leads and say, okay, we want priority level 1, priority level 2, priority level 3, right? Priority level 1 is the best of the best. Those are the ones that, you're pretty confident in the lead. They're definitely motivated. Priority level 2s are just maybe have a little bit less information. Priority level number 3s are people who are, we missing some of our 4 pillars, right? We don't have all the motivation, or maybe the price point is also, retail, or, all these things. Like, you look at the lead, it's like, okay, I don't know if this is really motivated, but, we'll still try to give it a shot. Those are the conversations you want your lead manager on to get comfortable. Yesterday, we discussed the script. Hopefully you guys reached out to get the script. If you didn't, you can still email me, mattbeard at startvirtual.com. We have a mastermind this week that actually, we'll be talking at in about 2 hours. So if you reach out, there's a good chance that I won't get back to you in a decent time frame. It's not because I'm ignoring you, I promise. It's because we're actually at this event all day today and tomorrow and Saturday. But I have my assistant is going to help get you guys the script. So still feel free to reach out. We'll get you that script. Today, I want to invite you guys to do your action plan for day number 23 for your lead managers. Now that you're getting it, right? You're seeing what's happening. You've watched the video on how we delivered the script. Today, I want you to start putting together what I call a learning library for objections, right? It's an objection learning library, because what's going to happen, guys, is the thing about lead managers and thing about really anything virtual assistant is, virtual assistant related, is always developing people, right? And giving them the tools and doing the best you can as a leader to make sure they're going to be successful. So when they're calling homeowners, you guys probably know, if you're at this point, is there's only going to be a handful of objections that they're encountering, right? Maybe it's someone who's like, yeah, well, I'm talking to other investors too. We just want to get an offer. What's your offer? And they won't give your VA a number, right? That happens quite a bit. It's like, okay, well, what are you hoping to sell it for? I don't know. You call me, give me an offer. Or, I'm talking to multiple people. I'm trying to take the highest offer. What is your guys' best offer? Right? You get those objections all the time. You also get, okay, I know I told you I was ready to sell, but I need to go talk to my wife, or I need to go talk to my sister or my brother or my cousin or some other family member, right? Or, my health right now, something happened and I'm going to need to wait another couple months, right? Or what, like, there's only a certain amount of objections you're going to get, and there's always something behind it, right? So whenever someone says they need more time or I need to go talk to someone, right? Hopefully when they get to that part, we already addressed, like, hey, is there any other decision makers on the property? But it's important that they understand when they encounter these kind of objections, I give them the freedom to be straight up. Because honestly, guys, when there's, it's just smoke and mirrors to these objections. Typically, if you get later in the conversation with the homeowner and they're like, yeah, well, you know what? I need to sleep on it, blah, blah, blah. What I tell the sellers and what I tell my VAs, like, okay, that makes complete sense. But can I share my biggest fear with you? And they're like, yeah. It's like, well, my biggest fear is typically when we talk to potential clients and they say that we need to sleep on it, it's one or two things. It's either they don't feel like they're getting a good deal, or they're talking to someone else and they're hoping to, kind of get some more offers on the property, right? And when I say it that way, they're always like, oh, no, we're not getting any more offers. Or, you know what? Yeah, I would like to get a better deal. And honestly, I want to make a little bit more money on the property. But we're straight up, because honestly, that's the only two things that there ever is. Like, if I solved all your problems, then, what is there to sleep on? Right. So I give my VAs permission, because I have a learning library of these objections and how I handle them, to implement these trainings and stuff. And what happens is the conversions go up super duper high, and I don't have to repeat myself a million times. Okay. So when I say, well, typically, it's either you don't feel like you're getting a good deal. Maybe I didn't solve all the problems. Maybe there's some other stuff that's going on that I don't know about. Right. And then I'll just stop there. No, everything's fine. I like the price. I like this. I'm like, well, is there anything else going on that, that I may need to know? Blah, 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 blah. No, everything's perfect. So, okay. When, the second scenario is, potential clients are talking to someone else. Look, I know that we're not the only buyers in the market. I know there's plenty of people, but, is that something that's happening? Right. And we addressed the elephant in the room. Like, look, I know we're not the only buyers. And look, obviously, I know it's important that you get as much money as you possibly can. And, maybe I haven't made it clear that by working together, we can accomplish putting more money in your pocket. And that's what you're really after. Am I right or am I right? Right. So we have these objections. We have that into a learning library where, hey, what did Matt say about, when someone says I need to sleep on it? Hey, what did Matt say when they say they need to talk to a spouse? Hey, what was that objection handle when they, when they're like, oh, well, I'm talking to other investors? Or, hey, how do we handle the, we want to offer from you before we make a decision, right? I have all of those things in a Google Drive for my sales team, so they can always refer back to it. And it's super duper helpful for new lead managers. So if you guys are just getting started, getting the lead manager up and going, it's a great place to, as you start putting these systems in place, is a great thing to do, and slowly add to it. You don't need to have 10, 15, 20, 30 objections in there. You just slowly add to it. So just think about some common things that you've encountered and how you've overcome those objections. Record it, right? And then start putting a few things in there. Maybe it's 2 things. Maybe it's 4 things. Maybe it's 6. I don't know. Right. But ultimately, you're going to be building on this thing over time. Remember going back to delegation where I'm like, define, demonstrate, and document, right? You're always going back and redefining, right? And you're always going back and redemonstrating, and you're adding to the stuff you have. What you don't want to do is just say something once and then just go, right? Reality is, for any of your team members, you're going to have to repeat yourself at least 7 times for them to even recognize you said it once, right? So what I found was I got super duper frustrated with my sales team when I'm always like, guys, you know how to handle this one, right? I've said this one a million times in our meetings. Hey, I just helped Don with this objection last week. Why are you asking me how to handle it, now? It literally last week we had the same exact objection, right? And from the frustration, I'm like, nope, we're going to put some place where we have all these objections, some place to house them. and the recordings behind it, right, with some examples. So guys, that is your action item today. Put that together. Maybe do two things, just maybe at least 2 objections, maybe 4 objections. Think about the things that you encounter the most, maybe top 10, and start putting one thing in there at a time, because it's going to be super helpful for your VA that's becoming a lead manager to refer back to. Cool? All right, guys, look, I got to get ready. I got to get ready to rock and roll here. We have a big day for the next 3 days. We are going to be presenting, teaching folks how to wholesale. It's going to be so much fun, and I can't wait. But as always, guys, thank you for coming and hanging out with me on Morning Momentum. If you need anything in the meantime, please still send me an email, mattbeard@startvirtual.com. And if it's anything urgent, I'm sure my assistant will send it over to me. But if you want the scripts or you want anything that we've talked about over the last 23 days, he will be sure to get it to you guys. So thank you for coming and hanging out. It's a ton of fun as always. Morning Momentum. I will see you guys tomorrow morning. Peace.